Right. Let's get to the medical. Washington, Davis, Powell, Lively, are all out, and Martin is with due to the trade. He's not available either. Just in case you're going to ask.
What can you tell us about the decision to trade to Philadelphia? How much do you know about it?
Yeah, I can just talk about what Q meant to us in the short stint that he was with us. He did everything we asked. He's a pro. Talked to him this afternoon. His ability defensively and then offensively to help us, and so we're going to miss him. But when you look at Caleb, the versatility, just his teammates, his past teammates have always talked highly of him. His versatility defensively, and then his experience in the playoffs. And so we're really excited to have this opportunity.
Have you gotten a chance to meet or speak with him yet? It's very rare that obviously you guys just happen to be playing each other tonight.
That's a great question. I've reached out to him. I just haven't had time to talk to him physically on the phone, but through text I've reached out. So hopefully we will cross paths here in the same building at some time, if that's legal. But we'll see. Hopefully here soon.
Jason, something you mentioned the other day was, the Mavericks traded you and you're a very young player. I mean, you had an all-star on your resume at that point. How do you just reflect on that, looking back at that event in your career of Dallas trading you in your early 20s?
Yeah, I think it's just, you can be in shock because you're young. You believe you're going to be with the franchise, forever. But the business of basketball sometimes gets in the way, and teams change. I've been involved in quite a few sales of the team, and so anytime there is a sale, there could be change or a change of GM or coach. So that just happened. So early in my career, I was traded, but the game of basketball didn't change. I just went to a different city and continued on my journey to try to be the best in the world.
This morning, new guys come in, AD and Max, and come to shoot out. I think team breakfast as well. Was there anything that stood out, or just a new energy, just having those guys around the team today?
Yeah, I think everybody's excited. When you talk about being able to, have Christy and AD physically there this morning for breakfast, to be able to have shoot around, the energy. Christy will play tonight. AD is out, but I think just everyone's excited, and you could see that this morning at breakfast, and you could see that at shoot around. And so, at some point, we've said this pretty much all season. The ones who've been traveling with us, we've been hurt or sick, and we just haven't been, whole. And we've talked about next man up. So hopefully that phrase can go away here shortly, and that we can get healthy, and then move on after the trade deadline.
Jason, what is the scenario you envision tonight for Max Christie getting on the floor?
Yeah, we'll bring him off the bench and try to make it, as simple. He's had one shoot around, but he understands how to play, and so we're really excited to get his feet wet tonight and put him in a position to be successful. Hopefully we don't run him 40 minutes. But just understand he can play minutes, and we're excited for him to be a part of this.
Obviously, the recent film that your coaching staff would have studied in preparation for Philadelphia was them playing without Joel Embiid, but he was going to be available tonight. How does that change your mindset?
Yeah, we practiced. We had shoot around as if Embiid was playing tonight, so it's easier to adjust if he's not playing. But we went through as if he was playing tonight, so hopefully we can make it tough on him. He's one of the best centers in this league. He understands how to score, and so it puts a lot of pressure on our defense, but hopefully we're up for that challenge.
We asked Nick about the uniqueness of this trade, both teams being in the building playing each other tonight. He mentioned that in the minors, sometimes guys would swap at halftime teams, and that he was pretty used to it. But for you, is this one of the more unique things where a guy might be in the building, and you mentioned, like, I might try to talk to him if I'm allowed, and the rules of all of that?
Yeah, it's a unique trade. Both teams being here and one player being swapped both. I don't know if he was going to be able to play tonight, Caleb. if both players were able to play, due to physicals and everything else, it would have been probably easy for both of us, as Nick said, for those two to play, which would have been kind of cool. But hopefully he is, he's going to be able to play soon. But just the unique of this trade is kind of cool because we get our hands on him sooner than later.
The 1920 Lakers team that won a title that you were a part of, what made you guys so elite defensively?
Yeah, I think when you look at just the build of a big front line, when you look at being able to have someone like AD, his versatility to guard everyone. Offensively, he can play inside out. He also can pass. And so I think just the mindset. We were a big team, being able to play with two bigs on the floor. And if you want to call LeBron, he could be a big too. So just to be big, and then also just the mindset of having the best defense in the league. And that's what we did those 2 years.
Jason, I know trades are disorienting for anybody. I would expect they are especially disorienting for star players who are used to being in a certain role on the teams that they were on. And I know you know AD, but I just wondered, what do you tell him about expectations and not having to try to be more than you are coming here and the role that you have here as opposed to what you had in LA?
Yeah, I think, just talking about our group, but I think just, he played with duds. I had the opportunity to coach him. And so I think and also he's been involved, I think, in a trade. So that helps that this isn't his first go around in a trade from New Orleans to LA. So that helps. And then I think also just when you look at the maturity of, he's 31 years old, he understands the business. Things happen. You have to be able to pivot. I think he made the comment that he's over it, now he's ready to play. And so, but, he has been around some of us for not just a year or two, but, has had teammates. So hopefully that settles. Our job is to get his feet settled, keep things simple. But when you're that talented, you just put him in a position to be successful. And, that's pretty easy by just putting him in a uniform and letting him do what he does.
Jason, you're obviously a legendary point guard in your own right, and Tyrese Maxey is an establishing star in this league. When you're evaluating point guards at this level, I guess, what do you typically see as like the biggest leap from this certain player to okay, this is an all-around point guard who can do a bunch of different things?
Yeah, I think he's on that Shea path. Each year he gets better. And so I've always said that about Shea. Each year he comes back and shows something new, and we're looking at Shea as, being probably the MVP, but Maxey's still on that path of bringing something new to the table each year. His leadership, you look at his ability to score, he loves to play the game, and so when you are studying someone, you look at if he's added something new, his pace, his ability to finish and shoot the three, and so again, he's in that group of young, talented point guards that are getting better each year.
You mentioned his leadership. As an opposing coach, where do you notice that, or where do you recognize that on film or just
just his poise and being able to communicate what he's trying to do or what he would like his teammates to do. So when you're watching film, I can't see what he's saying, but he's communicating. And so as a point guard, if you're communicating, you're doing the right thing as a leader.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.